story in the news yesterday about a cleaning woman who was cleaning this place up, and she found a jar with a suspicious item in it.
Was it a penis?
It was a penis.
Penis.
They never mentioned anything about a connection to whose penis it possibly could be.
That must be what I saw. I saw a few things. I think I saw Shannon Burnett share something, and there was a penis in a jar, and I just assumed it was an animal penis or something. Like on all those oddity boards, you see penises for sale all the time.
But the police came and got it, and there was like a note on the side of the jar.
Bobby penis.
Yeah, but it doesn't. They can't read it. Shit.
Bobby, here's your penis.
Damn it, Bobby. Damn it.
I'm gonna put it on the shelf next to Billy.
Speak English.
It was in North Carolina, so one of the guys was like, "Cool thing about North Carolina is
You can have another man's penis.
she was like, he goes, she can put an ad in the paper, and if nobody claims it in 2 weeks, she can take that bad bear home with her."
That's hers. I would think that it probably belongs to the house she was cleaning.
Well, yeah, they didn't kind of go into that, so I'm assuming that she was cleaning a house from somebody died, right?
Oh. If there's not an arrest and they're not making a big deal about it, it was a legal penis.
Illegal penis.
Legal penis. Not a black market penis.
But the police department posted up that it was in the morgue, and you could go down and look and see if it's your penis.
If it was your penis.
That is mine.
There it is.
It's a detachable penis. King Diamond, detachable penis.
Good job naming that band. I don't think I could have named.
What's that?
I don't think I could have named who wrote that song.
It's the song Detachable Penis. How the fuck can you not know this?
No, not that, but who wrote, like, the artist?
Well, I have to look it up occasionally and
Remind myself.
share it.
Because
I don't want to. I'm comfortable right now. There's some good fakes out there. They call them pickled punks. They're like fetuses. They look like real human fetuses, but they're molded and then painted. They're molded like off of silicone or gelatin or something. Then, like props, gaps. There's some fucking crazy gaps out there. You look at those things and swear to God, it's a little baby alien in the jar.
baby in a jar.
Kitten on a stick. Kitten on a stick. Lick, lick. Kitten on a stick.
There's nothing exciting about it.
That's your new Baby Shark song. Nothing exciting about what?
There's nothing exciting about aliens anymore. I mean, hell, you can find them anywhere. I mean, we got one in our bathroom.
Oh, got you. I'm like, I'm thinking at your house. I'm like, what's going on at your house? Unless it's a little baby alien with a big human penis on it.
Yeah.
Sewed attached.
Of course it's sewn on.
You know what the Growler is? Military vehicle?
Yes, I do.
You know they're coming up for sale on GovCon.
Mm-hmm. They're probably going to be really expensive. I
What
would
is
love
it?
to have one.
What is it?
So
It looks like a Jeep Humvee Raider.
it's actually a little bit of a funny story. So the Marine Corps decides, hey,
G-Wagons.
well, here's the problem with the G-Wagons. The G-Wagons don't have the, while you can, they don't have the helicopter internal capability that say the M151 has, right? So you can take an M151, 50 cal, Mark 19, you can drive it right in there, put another one right in there, and have a trailer on the ramp. So the Marine Corps bought this 120 millimeter mortar. Big mortar, has to be towed, so you're not carrying it. So they bought this 120 millimeter mortar, and then they went, hey, how are we going to get this 120 millimeter mortar in the fight? Because a Humvee, obviously, you can't put a Humvee internally in a 46, in a fucking in the tilt rotor in a 53. No,
I didn't know that.
yeah, no Humvee.
Like in the Osprey, you can't.
No Humvee. Here's the interesting thing about the Osprey. The
So you gotta-
Osprey's internal dimensions are the same as the CH-46.
So it fucking is of no use. I guess it's faster.
Yeah, that's the
else?
thing. It's faster and has a longer range.
So you have to sling load it?
So yes, if you want to move if the Marine Corps wants to move a Humvee from point A to point B, they sling load them under 53s. 46 won't sling load it, and I don't think I've seen an Osprey do it. Well, an Osprey
46 is a dual prop too, right?
dual prop, yeah, but it's small compared to
So
the
the
Army.
53 is the Stallion?
Yeah, 53 is C-Stone. So they didn't have a way to move this thing around to the battlefield internally on vehicles. So they're like, hey, we need somebody to design a vehicle that can do this. So this company in Georgia, by the way, that has a board of members that are all former Marines. So this company in Georgia decides they're going to make a Growler.
Growler.
The Growler uses all the same drivetrain as an M151. So the vehicle that the Marine Corps has already had in its inventory
They're literally out blowing them up.
for the past 60 years, this company designs a vehicle around that. Now the difference is it has a diesel engine versus a gasoline engine. So the M151 had a gas engine, which, okay, I can see you want to get rid of those because it was a pain in the ass to move MoGas around when everybody else was using diesel.
What's MoGas?
MoGas is a military version of unleaded
Why do
fuel.
they call it Mo? What's it stand for?
I don't know that. But so they made this Growler. They made this Growler that is dimensionally smaller than an M151. So an M151 can carry more load. So the old military Jeep, the M151A2s, could carry more load than a Growler because they weren't looking for the same thing. What they were looking for is a vehicle that could tow this 120 millimeter mortar around. So they go with the Growler. The Growler's probably, I mean, without looking at the dimensions, I'll bet it's just maybe a smidge wider and a smidge longer than a Razor. Just the two-seater, not the four-seater.
Right, yeah.
Like just a smidge.
I just looked at it. It looks like a cross between it looks like they took a Humvee and tried to make it like the MRAV, the military Razor.
So basically they decided that this was going to be the vehicle, and they cost $100,000 a piece. Yeah.
It's so awesome that we're already selling them off.
They cost us $100,000 a piece to tow this mortar around, which I've never seen that mortar used. Or maybe I've not been to Afghanistan, so they may be using it in Afghanistan, but I've never seen the Marine Corps pull out the 120 and start fucking using it because it's just not.
How big is the 120?
Fucking 120 is huge. No, it's big.
So what, you got steps to? Is it front loaded?
Yeah, it's front loaded, but I want to say that it tilts down, you load it, and then auto fire it. So I'm not 100% sure on that. 120 came in after I already got out. But the problem with the 120 is versus the other systems is if I'm a rifle platoon, I can take an 81 millimeter mortar, I can take a 60 millimeter. A rifle company can take that shit.
Right now, this thing has to have fuel support.
This is all kinds of other support that's a pain in the ass. So the Marine Corps buys these things. They get in the fleet. And fortunately, there were still people in the fleet that was like, hey man, this is just an M151, and we have stacks of them at Yermo. So they literally have, if you...
What's Yermo?
Yermo it's where we send it's out in 29 Palms. And you know you were going to Vegas? When you go to Vegas
Barstow.
and you get that Barstow and there'd be that big fucking tower and all, you see all those vehicles. That is our reutilization place. So
not Dermo.
Not Dermo. It's Yermo. So we send all our vehicles. So when we come off deployment, all the vehicles go there. They get stripped down, repainted, refurbished, and then sent back out. It's just kind of like a recycling thing for the military.
So it's like you guys don't know, but like every time a whole fucking unit comes back, like their med kits, for instance, they take all the contents out of the med kits and they go in the trash. All your fucking multi-tools go in the trash. All that shit. They keep the pouches and then they reload the pouches. Like all that shit, it just gets fucking, it all goes away.
That's just the Army. The Marine Corps, I never got a new IFAC. 10 years I carried the same one. Anyways,
Expired, which means nothing. Like
Which,
you
yeah,
guys
doesn't
that
mean
don't
nothing.
know, expired gauze, expired quick clot, all that shit still works. The date is on the package. The FDA said they had to fucking date the packaging.
yeah, it's all still good. So the Marine Corps gets these things, and they kind of use them. They kind of don't use them because they don't. The problem with them is as a platform. So the M15 as a platform, Mark 19, 240 Golf, 50 cal machine gun. Boom, you're out there, fast attacking, doing what you want to do. This thing doesn't do any of that stuff.
So why do we want one?
Because it's really cool. I mean, it's really cool. But here's the thing. I mean,
Why would you want that over like a Humvee?
Size. So that
so
thing,
what can we do with that we can't do with the Razors already?
nothing. There's nothing.
Nothing
that,
at all.
There's nothing that
What do you
thing
think they're
can
going
do.
to sell for?
That's the problem.
Plus, you're going to have a vehicle that you don't have fucking parts for. Well, I guess we do.
Yeah, we do. We could.
M151.
And it's the thing about the military is, so the part structure is going to be behind it. If we buy it, like whenever we buy a new vehicle, let's say when I say the Marine Corps, I mean the Department of Defense. So if the Department of Defense decides, or like they have that new vehicle that just came out, the ILTL, whatever, it's supposed to replace the Humvee. They have that new vehicle. They have millions of dollars in support parts. Like they have everything to completely swap that vehicle out, just sitting in warehouses already.
I just got an email that the Growlers are coming up on Gov Liquidation and LMTVRs.
That I would rather have. I mean, fuck. Just
I
for
thought
the Marine.
LMTVRs are already out there.
These are the Marine Corps ones. So these ones, in theory, should be up armored. For me, it would be a tough call. I like the Growler because I had fast attack vehicles, so I'm kind of in that family. M151's still better. It's better than the G-Wagon too.
He has two M151s.
So
Did the G-Wagons? I just remember fucking Johnson talking about they had a Kevlar helmet on the hood, and something happened. Some solenoid exploded and punched a hole through the fucking hood and launched that helmet, and it took them like fucking 2 hours to find that fucking helmet.
so originally that's what was supposed to replace the M151. So when I had the fast attack vehicles, the Marine Corps was getting ready to switch over to the G-Wagons. The G-Wagons are awesome. G-Wagons are awesome from a European perspective. So if you're in Europe and you have to fucking run from, if you have to run from France to Germany, from fucking Germany to Spain, G-Wagon's awesome.
Because of part structure.
No, because it's a road vehicle,
Okay.
right? There's no,
So like Autobahn.
yeah, it's an automatic transmission, so there's no learning curve. You'd be amazed at how many people do not know how to drive a manual transmission.
Did your guys' G-Wagon? They weren't called fucking G-Wagons.
Yeah, we call them G-Wagons.
Did they have air conditioning and everything in them?
I think they did, because I know that. See, I only had 15 minutes with the G-Wagons, so we still 2-1 still had full complement of what we called fast attack vehicles, which were M151s. We still had a whole complement, and when we were going to go to Desert Scimitar, they're like, don't worry about the M151s. We're getting G-Wagons, so don't worry about it. And then 30 days prior to going to Desert Scimitar, they're like,
I remember this.
hey, we don't have G-Wagons.
Yeah.
You need to get everybody schooled up on
And then
M151s.
none of the guys could drive them.
And I'm like, nobody has a license for those. Like, nobody's licensed to drive
Did you even have them?
Yeah, we had them. We had 12 in the. I was taking parts and
Right.
making all kinds of shit.
Right.
We had 12 in the. We had 12 in the motor pool. So we got 8 completely running, and you have to understand that the M151 at this time, this is I can't remember what year it was, but at this time was it was one of those vehicles that the Marine Corps was still pushing to the forward units, but there was no maintenance program for them. So basically they would give you more vehicles than you needed, so you could cannibalize parts off them to keep the vehicles running. So we didn't get the G-Wagons. We had to go to Desert Scimitar in the fucking in the M151.
With no air conditioning.
Oh no, they're no air conditioning, no fucking roof. They're
But
just
the G-Wagons did have them?
The G-Wagons, the cab had it. So we went to Desert Scimitar.
So
and
your G-Wagons were truck version?
Truck version, yeah. We got the
I
truck
saw
version.
like SUV versions of them.
There are SUV versions, but the Marine Corps didn't get any.
No, I saw. That's all I saw was
But when you
SUV
saw
versions.
what you saw
The
was
test ones.
you saw the Marsoc guys, I bet.
No, it was before Marsoc existed. I saw Jared Johnson,
Yeah, that was probably something.
and that was what Stay 1-1.
That was probably something weird because we didn't have hard.
And
Nobody
they were
got
like
hard
Odie
tops.
Green. Every time I
Yeah,
talk
Odie
about
Green.
a G-Wagon, everybody that has one has had one. Pierre, he's like, it's 1970s technology. It's literally, it's like a box shit. It's fucking beats you to death. It's heavy. It's slow.
That's somebody who's never.
It's $250,000.
That's somebody who's never ridden an M151. The M151, there is no vehicle that we have in inventory that can outperform a 70-year-old M151 in the dirt.
We don't have it.
Yeah, we don't have.
But those fucking Range Rovers would. Those
But
Land
once
Rovers.
you get on the hardball, the fucking max speed on an M151 is really at 50 miles an hour, you're going like this. You were fucking hauling ass.
Jeff blew up M151s driving them from San Onofre down to my house on the freeway. It was a few trips and it would just blow the rear end.
The rear ends would go out
because
they're geared
it's really
really
a 40,
low.
45 mile an hour truck.
Yeah, they're geared really low. They were made for off road, like little teeny hill G-Wagon. When we came back from Scimitar, we got 2 G-Wagons, and they wanted to go out in the field with the G-Wagons. Getting to the exercise area, G-Wagons were there in 15 minutes. It took us 45 minutes to drive there on the road, in the M151s. But as soon as they got to the exercise area, there was a hill. I don't know. It wasn't that big. G-Wagon, they couldn't get up it. And I literally, because the CO was in the G-Wagon, because he's like, this is the new vehicle. This is the best. These are way better than M151s. I'm driving an M151. I go, bullshit. They get there. They can't get up the hill. I pull up behind them, and I'm like, hey, sir. I just drove circles around him. He was so mad. They had to get everybody out and have a M151 pull it up. Yeah.
So the Range Rovers, the 60s, the big wagons, 65, 60s. You can buy one of those. So like bringing them in the United States updated because of all the DOT shit. It's called gray market.
Yeah.
But they come in because the glass is different. You can take an old one that can come into the States or an old one that is in the States, and you can upgrade everything. All the Brent tweed, all the fucking upholstery, all the interior will unfit. It is the exact same fucking points. You can take
Who's that?
Range Rover.
But who's that guy that came here that was doing that? That was bringing in the 110s and
Yeah, we see
Remember that
that.
company?
Yeah, that's I can't remember the name of him. He's at Blade Show every year. Yeah, fucking super cool. Like if you want one of those, and his are already registered, so you don't have to
you
fuck
don't have
with
to
it.
fuck around.
Because like you pull that shit in California, like you could do that here all day, nobody would give a shit. But in California, they'll fucking they'll cut your vehicle in half.
Yeah, it's very hard to get a title for, especially anything that's super old, because they're like, we don't want your old stuff here.
But you can get them for about $65,000 turnkey. You can see them on eBay every day, and you're talking fresh paint. I mean, brand new fucking truck with new interior.
When I registered my M151, I took the manual in. So the way the Marine Corps labels the M151, the way the military labels the M151, it's actually three-quarter, half ton. It's a half ton. They call it a half ton utility truck. They don't call it a Jeep or anything like that. They call it a half ton utility truck. So I took the manual in, And I'm like, hey, I want to register my half-ton utility truck. And they're like, the guy was like, okay. I go, it's old. It's old, so. And he goes, I need to look at it. And so we go out there and he's looking at it and he goes,
So you had it with you?
yeah, I drove it to the DMV. And he goes, he's like, oh, I've seen these before. And he goes, where are your
Blinkers.
VIN numbers?
windshields.
No, I had all that, but he's like, where's the VIN number on this? And I'm like, it's right here on this data plate. And so on the M151s, there's a data plate. It just says what it is and all that, blah, blah. And there's a number on there. And so he's like, oh, okay. So he writes it down and shit, goes inside. I got my fucking license plates and all that in 10 seconds.
In California?
California. I mean, because I went to the DMV in San Clemente, which is a really small DMV. Leo goes to do his, and that's not what he does. I tell him what to do. I'm like, hey, this is what you do. Go in there, tell him this, blah blah blah. Here's the numbers. You should be good. Leo goes to do his, and he's like, hey, I'm here to register my Jeep. And they're like, oh, you got a Jeep that's never had a license plate, and you need to register it. No, we need to go see this. So he's like, it's outside. So they go outside. And they're like, where's the VIN number? And he's like, it's right there. And they're like, no, that doesn't meet the law. That's not the standard for the law. You have to have VIN number in 3 places. You're going to have to take this to the highway patrol and have VIN numbers. So they had to fucking put a VIN number on the frame and like 3 different places. It made a big fucking deal about it, but same exact vehicle.
Same dude that had a license plate on a Chenoweth fast attack vehicle.
On
an
a dune
actual
buggy, basically.
real Fav gets stopped going down the freeway by highway patrol. They didn't give him shit about a plate for that, but they gave him shit about a plate for the Jeep.
Yeah.
All right,
Anyway.
we got shit to do.
Yeah, we do.
You gotta get out of here.
Get out of
Because
here.
you know they do the. Have you ever seen the IKEA flash mobs where they go and move in?
No.
So they'll do a flash mob where they'll go into IKEA and they'll go to like an IKEA kitchen, and
Perfect.
they'll have she'll be dressed up like 1950s with her apron on, and she'll
June
be
Cleaver.
like and then they'll have the kid, the dad sitting at the table like, "What's up?" And they just go around IKEA doing that
Awesome.
shit.
Like, pretty cool. I'd go watch a flash mob.
We should have one. We have that people we can have a flash
I
mob
want to see like a big one,
like
you know,
a
like
Blade
at,
show.
at
Shit.
Union Station or somewhere.
We can get 1,000 people at Blade show. Easy.
We could choreograph Michael Jackson.
Baby Shark.
Baby Shark. Yeah, we could totally do Baby Shark.
Let's get.
But you got to do it as though it's the zombies from Michael Jackson.
How about Blade show? We buy cans of silly string and we give it to our followers, and they have to get a video of them surprising Dwayne Dwyer with silly string.
Oh, shit. It's got to involve an air horn, too.
At what point does Dwayne come over and punch us?
We do the shirt thing again, though. We'll give you the shirt. Your shirt is $5, but you got to skin it off and wear the shirt.
Yeah, so the
So
shirt.
we'll have fucking hundreds of people at a show wearing the same
Shirt
SOE
is-
shirt
yeah.
every day.
The shirt is $20. $5 to skin it off right now. Yeah. We should have a if they skin it off for $5, we should get to keep their old shirt.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
No, put it all in a bag.
Yeah, just right here. That's where your shirt goes.
And we'll do a different shirt each day.
That would be cool.
And we gotta do the raffles and then some fucking roll for dice or something. Little craps and shoot.
We gotta play
I really want to do the Suicide Girls, like the Derby Girls, but dodgeball to win shit.
The problem is you have to.
We just hire a bunch of them hookers, and
No, but I'm saying that the problem with that is
most of them are porn stars. I mean, they'll stand there like booth girls.
it's just.
But I want big ones. I want only the biggest bitches. Like I want to fuck them dudes up. You're gonna go against these girls.
Roller derby girls.
You're gonna
Yeah,
earn.
just
Yeah,
regular
that's what I'm saying.
Just regular roller derby girls.
They're brutal.
They're brutal.
Yeah, you're gonna earn that free shit.
Are you gonna take Gabby to play?
I thought Gabby was going with us last time.
You didn't say that.
No, I have to take care of the animals.
You said you didn't want her to go.
That's true.
That is true.
I forgot that part.
Josh mainly like laid out at the pool in your bikini.
Yeah, it's a banana hammock.
It was kind of fucking weird.
So I had to shave my back.
I'm remembering.
He's gonna need it. We gotta send Gabby because he's gonna need an assistant.
Stuff. Ass.
You need an assistant
To do what?
because you're not gonna be able to run specialty operations equipment
Yeah.
all by yourself.
Especial.
Special operational equipment. That is badass. We have
Goddamn. We
a
tried to
special.
So the people across the way from us that love us have 2 booths. They've been there every year we've been there, right? They fucking hate us. They complain about our sign. They complain that we draw too much traffic. Our people spill out and block their booth. We're not doing any business because nobody can see us. Like every year there's some shit. And the lady, like, not a lady that works for the show. The lady that runs the show comes over and tells me, she's like, just pretend you're fixing this. And then we all laugh at him. Like, that's all there is to it. So I'm like, hey, why don't you sell us this booth and move him? We will take those booths. And she's like, he's been there. They don't want to sell. I go, tell them I will pay for their booth if they move. I will pay their Blade Show this year, and then you give us those ones. He wouldn't do that. I said, I'll pay for 3 years of your booth. I'll pay it. I'll fucking write you. I will send you a check right now for 3 years worth of Blade Show booth. Because they won't let, you can't even prepay it. Like when we leave Blade Show, at the end of Blade Show, we can't pay it for another like 4 months. Like we just now paid Blade Show because that's the earliest we could fucking pay them. So I'll just pay you whatever your booth costs times 3. You fucking move. They've already got spots. They had a bunch because he's only 2. And we need more. We got fucking 3 booths in a row, so we're 30 feet. And I really, like even the dudes behind us, I made them the same deal. Zombie tools?
Yeah.
That would give us 20 by 30 because we want to put a VIP lounge in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll pay your booth for 3 fucking years. They've only been there 2 years. Fucking, there's plenty of places they can move. They just
The
won't.
problem is though, you're talking about the biggest problem really is, and I would say they're dumb if they did it because that's the Rodeo Drive of Blade Show. Like you get moved, you're going to the Pakistani knives and the fucking pocket swords.
They offered us 20 by 30 back there, so we'd have 6. Man, I almost took it, and the reason I didn't do it, because we have enough drive. Like,
Yeah.
people come into Blade Show come specifically because we're at Blade Show. So I almost moved back there. The problem is all that fucking the hot dog stand and the chip stand. Like you would have all that smell.
Yeah.
I just don't want to smell all that bullshit all day. What'd you say?
Yeah. Pakistan.
Pakistanis. It's all that.
You're
It's all
back
that
in the-
nasty, dirty Damascus.
I just, I would not want to give up our spot on Rodeo Drive for
Dirty goats.
dirty goats. That's just not for the fucking to be next to the damn carpet sellers.
If we could just slaughter every animal that comes through, we just get to cut its head off. Because you know they got chickens and shit running around under the tables and shit. It smells like they have chickens. with them.
Smells so good.
Greg, what's up, man? Jason says, I remember Josh in a bikini. He looked like he was in the Navy. Not me. All right, guys. We got to go do work now.